So hello guys, once again I welcome here all of you in the third part of geometric design of marathon session. This marathon session of highway engineering for gate examination of 2022. So this is basically third part of geometric design, where today we'll discuss about curves and extra widening, transition curves, vertical curves, summit curve, and all of these stuffs. Okay, so let's move forward. Before that, let's give me a second so that I'll set these pages. Okay, after that we'll move forward. Yeah, so yeah, now our today's first topic is extra widening. What it is? Extra widening. What is extra widening? Before let's draw a diagram for better understanding. Let's see, this is something like this, and this is our real expected curve. Okay, something like this. So this distance, is, it is denoted by we. This distance is extra widening. Extra widening additional, this given due to which the additional width of carriageway that is required on a horizontal curve referred as extra widening. Okay, the extra width of carriageway, this, look, this is our expected curve, but this is extra width of carriageway. So the extra or additional width of carriageway that is required on this horizontal curve is referred as extra widening. Okay, so this is something like, this is basically overview of this diagram. So basically extra widening, in extra widening we considered only two parts of of widening. First one is mechanical widening, and second one is psychological widening. So what first one is mechanical widening. Okay, mechanical widening we denote from WM. Okay, so WM is equal to L square upon 2R minus WM. This is approx is equal to L square by 2R. Okay, so this is our mechanical widening. If for this is for where R is, here R is obviously radius of curve. Okay, if road have n lanes, let's say if a road have n lanes, if a road have n number of lanes, then our extra mechanical widening, then our mechanical widening is equal to NL square upon 2R. Okay, and our next one is psychological widening. Psychological widening. Psychological widening. Why we give psychological widening? Because in roads there is a tendency that driver driver will drive their vehicle in the near of this carriageway. Okay, so that for the sake of ease of drivers, we give a psychological widening, which is equal to W psychological up is equal to V upon 9.5 under root R, where V is in kilometer per hour. Okay. So what is our total extra widening? That is WE is equal to WM, that mean mechanical widening plus psychological widening. Okay. So what it will be? It is equal to NL square by 2R for N lanes plus V upon 9.5 under root R. Okay. Meters. This is our total extra widening. So one more thing in widening, that IRC recommended something in widening. Yeah. So IRC recommended that if R greater than 300 meter, then extra widening is not provided. Then extra widening is not provided. Okay. If R is less than 50 meter, then extra widening is provided at inner edge. Okay. Then extra widening is provided at inner edge. And if R radius is in between 50 meter to 300 meter, then extra widening is provided at both edges. And extra widening is provided at both edges. Okay. So this is all about extra widening. Okay. Basically extra widening where we add mechanical widening and psychological widening, and this is some recommendation given by our IRC. Okay, so let's move forward to our next topic, which is curve resistance for turning vehicle. Okay, so our next topic is curve resistance for turning vehicle. Vehicle. Okay, so basically when loss of tractive force due to turning a vehicle on a horizontal curve, when there is a loss of tractive force due to turning of a vehicle on horizontal curve, that terms as curve resistance. Okay, but direction of rotation of rear and front wheels are different. Okay, so that's why we need to give a curve resistance there. So curve resistance is equal to, basically we have one formula for, yeah, curve resistance is equal to T minus T cos alpha. Okay, so let's this is formula of curve resistance. Let's move forward to our next topic, which is gradient compensation. Okay, so what's our next topic? Gradient compensation at curves on hill roads. Gradient compensation. Look, there will be increased resistance to traction due to both curve and gradient. Okay, therefore it is necessary to compensate the gradient at horizontal curve. Okay, so what, there will be increased resistance to traction. There will be increased resistance to traction. To traction due to both curve and gradient. So therefore it is necessary to compensate the gradient. It is necessary to compensate the gradient. Okay, so we have a formula for grade compensation. Grade compensation is equal to, sorry, yeah, grade compensation is equal to 30 plus r by r percent or 75 by r percent. Grade compensation is equal to minimum of both of this. Either if this is minimum, then grade compensation is equal to this one. If this is minimum, then grade compensation is equal to this one. Okay, and we have, when we need to calculate compensated gradient, then we have one more formula, compensated gradient. Compensated gradient, then it is equal to gradient which will be given in numericals minus grade compensation. Grade compensation, which means this one, minimum of this one. So this is formula for compensated gradient. Gradient is will be given on your numericals, and grade compensation you'll find from this formula. Here r is the radius. Okay, and you'll easily get compensated gradient. uh, According to IRC, basically IRC recommended that gradient is not necessary for the gradient flatter than 4%. If your gradient, this gradient is flatter than 4%, then a grade compensation is not necessary. Okay, that, so IRC recommended that grade compensation is not necessary if gradient is flatter than 4%. Okay, so this is all about the grade compensation, and let's move forward our main term on curves. So our first one is transition curve. What? Transition curves. Transition curves. Okay, so we direct move on the design steps of transition curve. Okay, so there's a lot of chances in gate from just to ask if from this side of, from this side. Okay, there's a lot of chances that there will be a question from transition curve in gate 2022. Okay, so your design steps. steps. So our step first. So a step first is to find length of transition curve by rate of change of radial acceleration. Okay. So our first step is to find length of transition curve by the help of rate of change of radial acceleration. Rate of change of radial acceleration. Okay. Basically radial acceleration at any point on a circular curve is equal to v square by r. Radial acceleration at any point on circular curve is v square by r meter per second square meters. Okay. And rate of change of radial acceleration basically be denoted it by c. Rate of change of radial acceleration denoted by c. So basically we have a formula for c is equal to v square by rt. And moving forward we have one more formula of t is equal to ls by v. What is ls here? Basically ls is length of transition curve. Ls is length of transition curve, and obviously t is time taken. And v is uniform speed in meter per second. Okay. So putting this value in this, we'll get a formula of c is equal to v cube upon rls, from where we'll get ls is equal to cr. Ls is equal to cr upon v cube, where v is in meter per second. Meter per second. And also cr ls is equal to ls is equal to v cube upon cr. I'm so sorry. ls is equal to v cube upon cr, where v is in meter per second, and if v is in kilometer per hour, then we have formula 0.0215 v cube upon cr. Here v is in kilometer per hour. Okay. So this is all about transition curve step first. And one more thing, a rate of change of centrifugal acceleration. Here it is rate of change of radial acceleration. If we have a rate of change of centrifugal acceleration, then we have a formula, rate of change of centrifugal acceleration. Then we have formula that is 75 plus v. It is in v is in kilometer per hour. Okay. And maximum rate of change of centrifugal acceleration is 0.8 and the minimum one is 0.5. Okay, let's move on second step to find designs of transition curve. So our second step is to find length of transition curve by an arbitrary rate of change of super elevation this time. Okay, so step second, find length of transition curve by an arbitrary rate of change of super elevation. Okay, so in this we have a two sub condition. Yeah, one is when the pavement is rotated about inner edge. One is when pavement is rotated about inner edge. Okay, then we have simple formula. L is equal to En W plus We. Okay, where 1 by n is, we have 1 by n, it is the rate of change of super elevation. Rate of change of shit. Rate of change of super elevation. Okay, and for plain and rolling terrain, n is equal to 150, and for hilly area n is equal to 60. For n is equal to 150 for plain and rolling terrain. Plain and rolling terrain, and n is equal to 60 for hilly area. Okay, this is one of the sub condition of to find length of transition curve of an arbitrary rate of by arbitrary rate of change of super elevation. Next sub condition is when pavement is rotated about center. When pavement is rotated about center. Okay, when pavement is rotated about center, then we have simple formula. Ls is equal to En W plus We by 2. Okay, this is all about step second. Let's move forward to step third to find a length of transition curve recommended by one and only IRC. Okay, so step third, find length of transition curve recommended by RCC, that by IRC. Yeah, so RCC recommended for plain and rolling terrain. RCC recommended LS is equal to 2.7 V square by R in meter. Okay, for plain and rolling terrain, LS is equal to 2.7 V square by R meter, and for mountainous and steep terrain, LS is equal to V square by R in meter. Okay, for mountainous and steep terrain, LS is equal to V square by R in meter. So this is all about our 3 steps for designing. Adopt the highest value of LS in step given by step 1, 2 and 3. Adopt highest value of LS given by step 1, 2 and third. Okay, so this is all about transition curve. One more thing in transition curve, setting out of transition curve. What? Setting out of transition curve. Okay, so when transition curve is in between straight and circular curve, then circular curve has to be shifted. Okay, when transition curve, when transition curve is in between straight and circular curve, the circular curve has to be shifted. Curve has to be shifted. S is equal to ls square is equal to 24 by r. Okay, so yeah, this is all about transition curve. And let's move forward on on our new topic, which is yeah, setback distance. Okay, what setback distance? Setback distance denoted by capital M. Okay, so look guys, that it is clear that distance required from center line of the curve to the obstruction on the inner side of the curve to provide adequate side distance. So then we need to give us setback distance. Okay, and in here also we have cases. We have two cases of here. One of the cases for when length of horizontal curve is greater than side distance. Okay, and another one is when length of horizontal curve is less than side distance. So we'll discuss case first. We'll discuss formulas of case first, which will help you to solving numericals of this. Okay, so what case first? Yeah, case first. When length of horizontal curve LC greater than side distance, then here this is case one. Then here we'll discuss for single lane, sorry, for single lane and for multi-lane. And then case 2, when length of horizontal curve sorry when length of horizontal curve is less than side distance. Length of horizontal curve is less than side distance. Okay, here also we'll discuss for, wait a second, here also we'll discuss for single lane sorry single lane and for multi lane. Okay, we'll discuss it but tomorrow. Okay, or on our next session, which is obviously part 4, which will be our last session, hopefully. Obviously that will be where we will discuss setback distance, vertical curves, summit curve, vertical sag curve, which is our last topic, which will be our last topic. Okay, so this is it for today. This is it for third part of geometric design. Till then, practice a lot of question. We'll soon we'll discuss previous year questions of geometric design. And yeah, after geometric design we'll discuss traffic engineering, and then we'll discuss highway materials, then we'll discuss uh, pavement design, then we'll discuss railways, then we'll discuss airports, obviously with previous year questions of all of these. And after highway engineering we'll go for another subjects of civil engineering. Okay, till then practice lot of questions And yeah, best of luck for your gate 2020 examination or any other examination which will be whichever you target for. Okay, so till then, take care, practice a lot of questions, best of luck, and thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much.